Hello friend, I'm Pat Sloan and it is Magical Quilty May, and we are here for our daily challenge. Yes, so it's Friday. It's like, hello Friday. I'm so happy to see Friday. Always am happy for a Friday. I'm hoping for a sunny Friday, to be honest, because we've had a way too many cloudy days here in Virginia. It is not nice. No, I don't like that many days of clouds. Okay, I digress. It is the 22nd. So what is our challenge today? The challenge today is a tool talk challenge, which pretty much means I want you to find a tool today that you haven't used for a while and give it a go. Maybe you have got it and you never used it, or you used it a while ago and then just didn't keep up with it. So pull a tool out, and I'm going to show you two tools. One I use all the time, and the other one I don't use as much. And so I'm going to talk about that and maybe why I don't use it as much. So first, for tool talk, let's come down here. First of all, we'll do our rainbow blocks. Wait, come back up. Because the first tool is what I use for the rainbow block. So let me first show you mine for today. We're still in blue. And so I have the umbrellas. Those are the same umbrellas that I put in the border of my stay-at-home quilt. I do need to get that basted so that I can quilt it. I'm just going to quilt wavy lines on it with the machine, like the wave. Okay, then I got a great big polka dot and use the shirt fabric that Greg so nicely gave me when it wore out. Well, he didn't give it to me, I took it. And then a blue with some scissor fabric. So I've been having fun pairing some of the sort of plain print ones with a fun alternate print. So when I do these, I do them two at a time. So I'm getting two of each one. And at first I thought, well, I could go and just make, every single one different. And I'm like, that's just more work. If I do two at a time, it's less work. So when I do two at a time, I'm doing a square. So we'll take a square, and I'll show you here the tool that I use to square things up. I'll probably have to show you the tool out here. That mat is, I think you'll be able to see it when I get ready to show you. Okay, so this is the tool that I use. It's the Quilt in a Day ruler. Oops, put it down. You'd think I never demoed before. Okay, it's Quilt in a Day ruler, and what it does is when you have, I'm going to show you, we'll go through the step, is we take two at a time, and we're going to use these lines here to go on to line up on the seam and trim. So what I've got is our squares for the rainbow quilt, and let me get a little closer. And I have sewn two lines, how it goes, it's two at a time. And then I want to cut down the middle. And I am not worried about measuring that at all. I'm just cutting right down the middle. So, whoops, I didn't start quite far enough. There we go. So now I have two. And you could turn these over and press them, and then take a regular ruler and trim them by using the diagonal. But when you use this trimming ruler, this Quilt in a Day trimming ruler, what we'll do, I'm going to show it from, I need 4.5. That's what the number is for this. I'm going to be upside down so that you can see it. There we go. Is that we will line up on the seam. Here's the seam, the 4.5. There we go. And then what I will be doing is trimming these two sides off, which, let me see if I can do it like this. So there we go, trim those two, and then here we go, trim the other two. I'm usually doing it from the other side. So now that these are trimmed, here we go, see these are trimmed off. When I open this, it is 4.5. There we go. So that will be a 4.5 inch square. And I'll take it to the iron and I will press it open. Which brings me to the second tool. So let's just talk about that. So the trimming one I use all the time. If I'm not like cutting them on the die cut, I'm pretty much doing 2 at a time because that just works for me. And I'm using this ruler here to this quilt, and I'll link it. All the links are down below to trim it. And I'm also using my Olfa ruler, my Olfa rotary cutter. I also have the Olfa mats because I like them best. So this is my tool that I don't use that much. So I thought I'd talk about that in conjunction with this. So this is the seam roller. Now, I have actually used seam rollers forever. I originally got one for wallpaper hanging years and years and years ago. And then what I found is over time, a lot of people made these seam rollers and they were not as good a quality. They were using a lighter weight plastic. The handles were not as heavy. And then finally, the Fat Quarter Shop came out with their seam roller, which is perfect because it's exactly like the older ones that I had, which were done for wallpaper, which is a heavy wood handle and a nice wood roller. And they're really smooth. So let's go. Now we'll see. This is to save you a little time. That's what its purpose is. Its purpose is so that if you're sitting here and you want to trim something and press it open and keep going, you don't have to get up and go over there to the ironing board. Now, do I use this all the time? No. To be honest, I don't. I do like it, but I don't use it all the time. And I think that that's a shame. I think I could use it more often. So generally, I just sort of, sort of finger folded. I don't try to press it at this point. I just sort of lean it over. And then what you do is you take the seam roller and you just go across. And because now it's just flattened it pretty much right out. And that's pretty darn nice. It works really well. Now I could go in piece. Like if I were doing big patchwork like this I feel is plenty of pressing to go and do the next seams. Let's come back up here now because I want to chat about that a little bit more. Now if I am doing little tiny patchwork, something very small and precise, then I would prefer to go to the regular iron because I'm not sure this would get things flat enough that I would know there wouldn't be any lift, which would then make the block smaller if there's a little lift in your block. So when I've got a big square, I've got some wiggle room. When you have little patchwork, you really need to be super precise with everything. So I like to press with the iron with small patchwork. But doing these rainbows, I could definitely use this. I could have this here and just, go to town with that. The other thing I like to do, here, come back down. Hope you're not getting dizzy, up and down, up and down. But you see the little dog ears? Let me hold this up. See these? These are called dog ears by many people. Where are they? There's another one. And what I want to do, for years I did not trim those off, but I want to trim them off now, like this. There they are. Because when I trim them off, they are not getting caught in my foot. I use an edge foot. Here, I'll show you. I use an edge foot to piece. See the edge on there? There it is. That's the other side. And it has this, there. See the edge foot? This piece runs along the side. That's coming towards me. So it's like towards you like that. So it's on the right-hand side. And if I had these little dog ears on there, they sometimes would get caught. So I like to take those off. Okay, the other super wonderful thing about the seam roller is it is also my let it go item today. Where is it? I have, oh here, yeah. I have 2. Did you notice that? I have 2. I don't need 2. So this one is going in my let it go container. Yes, off it goes. Off it goes, releasing it to somebody that can use it. Yay. So we have two more things I want to be sure you know about. One, I will link you below here to the very fun mashup video that my friend Andy at True Blue Quilts did. She asked a bunch of us designer friends to do a fun little ditty, and then you can watch all of us as we sort of bring fabric in and magically turn it into a quilt and then throw it to the next person. It is so fun. Just a great way to see a whole bunch of new designers that you might have not met. And so the link to her videos is right here below mine. And when you're down there, click the subscribe. Okay, click the subscribe. Hit the like button too. What else do we have? I wanted to talk to you about, just remind you that the Jolly Bar sampler sew along, we're moving to June 29th. But in between that, if you already have your Jolly Bar book, okay, so if you already have the Jolly Bar book, then I am going to sew a quilt from the book with a different Jolly Bar than I have for the sampler. Just sew one of the quilts. So I'm looking and I'm thinking of sewing a super easy one, and this is the one I'm thinking of doing. Just because I don't want to do a lot of thinking. What I want to do is cut it up so that as I'm sewing other things, I just run sections together. And this one ends up being 43 by 60, which I could then put a border on it if I wanted to. And I'm trying to decide, I had this stuff left over, these fabrics from the Tula Pink quilt that I did. Where is that? Yeah, so when I did this one, these flowers, the Happy Dance, remember this one? Oh, it's upside down. You see the monkey? Remember that one? Yes. So when I did this one, it was from a layer cake, and I have enough, then maybe I have to add 1 square or something from my stash or 2, and I can do that quilt, or a lot of the quilts that need a single Jolly Bar, because these are layer cakes, so I just cut them in half. So I'm thinking of doing that. So I will have like a companion to this guy. Fun! So I'll link you to this pattern if you missed it. So if you want to do that with me, I will get that started soon. You'll know when I start it because I'll put it up on the wall behind me. So maybe on the weekend I might, or by Monday, I will start sewing from this, because I have to decide if that's the one I want to use, or I might want to use this one, which is sort of an Americana one. And I've decided if it's really that quilt in there. Like decisions. So if you have your book and you want to make something from it while we wait to do the sampler, yes, sew along with me. It'll be super fun. Okay, before we go, ta-da! The pineapple quilt has binding. See it? Green binding. It's kind of a tone-on-tone plaid. I love it. So I will be switching over my living room to something other than my winter blue and white. I'm very happy. Okay, friend. Have a wonderful day. I love you. Thank you for being part of my community. Thank you for sharing and using my links. It helps support us. And you are just wonderful. Mwah! Have an amazing, amazing Friday. Happy Friday. Bye-bye.